All right, what's up, Bulldogs? So I'm bringing to you today a Donovan Sharpe. I just realized a couple weeks ago I was like, I haven't had Donovan on the channel. We need to correct that problem. So Donovan's here today. Welcome, Donovan.
Hey man, it's definitely good to be here, dude. You and I have been talking back and forth for a while, and I remember I shot you a text the other day. I was like, "Hey man, like, are you based out of Arizona?" You're like, "No, dude, I'm in San Diego." You and I connected when I was in Arizona. I think you were training for like an ultra marathon or something, but it's good to finally be able to link up and do the show with you, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been following your content for a long time, and yeah, it's good to. And in fact, what I kind of wanted to talk about today was something that I had seen that you put a clip on your channel talking
Okay.
about the Manosphere and talking about
Yeah.
the infighting and everything. I thought that you're the guy to talk to because you had broached the subject, and I've been kind of trying to fight that battle. And I don't know, I thought we'd maybe just like talk about a few things, just what your perspective is on it and kind of where you see the future going and things like that. So what's your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, man. The manosphere has devolved
Mm,
into and I don't want to say all of it,
yeah.
but enough of it has happened or is happening at this point to where it really is a problem. We have more men, John. Feminists don't have to come after us
Mm,
anymore.
yeah.
Okay. I remember back when I used to write for Roosh and Return of Kings. I remember when our biggest detractors were feminists
Right.
over at the Jezebel website, Reddit, the Huffington Post. All of these websites continue to make hit pieces, and these guys need to go down, and this and that. That's when we knew we were doing it right, is when we were getting the attention of these womanists, I guess, to try to keep it cleaner
Yeah.
for YouTube. But something happened along the way that made that almost caused us to turn on each other. And I think it's probably a lot of in-house hate. That's the first thing. That's the number one thing. But there's always going to be in-house hate, right? Men are not always going to get along, John. We know this. Men don't always get along with each
Right.
other. This
Exactly.
is what makes us men. The difference is we don't air out our dirty laundry. If I have a problem with this guy, I'm going to call him up. Like I had a disagreement with a content creator years ago.
Mhm.
I called him up and we aired it out. Now, I'm as guilty as anybody of kind of doing these response videos. I didn't really do that many, but I've done enough to admit that, hey, you know what? I may or may not have been a part of the problem. All right, I admit that. But when you see when you see all of the hate that is thrown to one another, it's just it really is disheartening because we used to be a united community. That could not be more different now. Listen, what's going on over in the Black Manosphere? The Black Manosphere, John, doesn't exist anymore because they're too busy doing nigga shit. That's all they did was talk shit about one another. The quote unquote white manosphere, the mainstream manosphere, is going down. It's going down the same path. Anthony Johnson and Rollo Tomasi, like, listen, man, like the thing. Oh boy, now I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why my camera is about to go off. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Me off. I'm gonna switch cameras here.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on. Oh shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, I never have these fucking technical fucking difficulties. What the fuck is my camera turning off for? Anyway, man, shit. I apologize. At least you can still hear me. I'll work on this behind the scenes. At least you can still hear what I'm talking about. But you got guys like the whole Anthony Johnson and Rollo Tomasi thing. That went on for way too long, man.
Yeah.
It really was a shame that it devolved to the point that it did, because like I understand if you have a disagreement with XYZ content creator, but the lengths that he has gone to continuously humiliate Rollo, that's bad form, dude. It's bad form. And I know you're friends with the guy, and I know that you've done events for him and everything like that. But at this point, enough's enough, man. Like I have to really separate myself from men and other content creators who say they want to make women great again. All they're doing is trashing one guy. And so that was really, and it wasn't really that caused me to sort of go into this uproar. It wasn't really that at all. it was just more fuel to the fire when I found out Steve the Dean Williams going after Myron Gaines. I'm like, why are we talking shit about each other, man? And Steve, I still consider him to be a good friend of mine.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why he feels the need to go after. He's calling Myron Gaines' credibility into question. He says his name was probably he got relatively racial with it. But I just don't understand, man. We have enough women coming. Well, women don't need to come after us anymore, John. That is now done by men. We are cannibalizing ourselves.
Yeah. I echo everything that you say here. And again, I'm friends. Oh, well, I consider myself to be friends with Anthony and with Rillo. Although I think Rillo's recently blocked me, but it doesn't matter. I don't care what people think about me. That doesn't change my opinion of them. So, but anyway, yeah. But I agree with you with all this stuff, and I've been trying to have as many people on. I just had John Anthony on the channel yesterday, and he makes some of the smear videos, and again, but I don't want to like. To me, it's like I just want to talk about. We should be talking about ideas, and we should be debating and discussing ideas, right?
No,
it's no secret that I am that I'm against that. I don't like the MGTOW philosophy, right?
Sure.
So, but I don't, again, maybe in the past I've been guilty of calling out some specific creators, but I tend to shy away from that. I'd rather let's discuss the philosophy. Let's discuss the things that are bad here. And I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to address this? I think
the whole
Anthony's here.
Yeah. Are you talking about the John Anthony situation?
Well, I think I just put up. I don't know if you can see on the screen. Anthony Johnson is here. He said, he said, nice to see Donovan being a fake nice guy on the attack, shilling for follow.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm not going to address that. Okay. Anthony and I are on the same side, but I can no longer co-brand with him. I know you're friends with him, but Anthony, I can no longer co-brand with you. I'm not trying to get into a war of words with you. Listen, we did great things together, and I wish you the best of luck. But as of right this very moment, you can say whatever you want about me. You can call me names, this and that and the third. That's fine. I'm not going at you. You can come at me. I'm not going to listen to that stuff. I'm no longer co-branding with the likes of you, and I say that as respectfully as possible. So let the record show.
The only problem I have with that, Donovan, is that I feel like that just well, I mean, like, again, I agree with you on all the drama, but the only problem I have with it, and again, just maybe something to think about, is that almost further propagates it. It's like, so what? So Anthony, is slings mud, let him sling mud, but let's discuss ideas, and let's be
I agree. No, I agree. And I disagree with the fact that this further propagates it.
Okay.
All I am simply saying, I'm not trying to smear Anthony. All I'm saying is that I am no longer co-branding with him. That's it. Okay. I gave you my reasons. I don't like the fact that he is, he got into bed with MGTOW Dictionary for a while. Like, dude, and MGTOW Dictionary has made it very clear that he is not about the message. And I hate that my fucking camera is not working right now, but he has made it very clear with his actions and his words that he is, it's almost like he is trying to destroy people's brands. He's like, all he is doing is just going after people, putting out their personal information, this and that and third. Listen, man, I got nothing against Anthony, but when you get into bed with a guy like MGTOW Dictionary, I can no longer co-brand with you. Again, I say this in the most respectful way possible. It is what it is.
I think one of the problems I see is the chain reaction of associations where people are like, all right, if you associate with this person, I won't associate with you. And then and I say this having been the subject of that, right? Because when I went and spoke at 21 convention, a lot of the Rule Zero guys were like, again, and I'm not saying any shit against them. I consider all those guys to be friends of mine, whether they have negative viewpoints of me or not. But a lot of guys, or even community members, were like, oh, you're a traitor, you're going to the other side. And I'm like, right. Or I'm not gonna associate with you if you associate with him. And to me, it's like, when we keep on doing the, like, I'm not gonna associate with you, and then no one can associate with anyone, and it's like, I got to check before I can talk to this person, if this, and that's the drama that I just John, listen, despise, man.
Listen, John, I agree with you.
Yeah,
but I think that you and I can agree that MGTOW Dictionary, that's a different animal, dude. That's a different animal, man. Like, he's like
yeah, that's a different animal for sure.
Right. Well, there you go. And so, hang on a second. and I think I might have gotten my camera to finally work. And I apologize here. MGTOW Dictionary is a different animal, dude. He has nothing to, at least with Anthony, he put together an unbelievable event. He put together an unbelievable product. You know, he did a lot of good things, pardon me, for the Manosphere. But when you get into bed with him for the purposes of smearing people, that's the one that I don't want to call it an unforgivable sin or anything like that. But I'm sorry, MGTOW Dictionary is not. He's made it clear that he is trying to literally tear down people's brands. He's doxing people's families, their mothers. I mean, at that point, it's one of these deals where I cannot co-brand with someone who gets into bed with the likes of him. So that's just it.
And I would say about that too. Like, again, I've reached out to
hold on real quick. Listen, hold on real quick. I want to make this clear.
Yeah.
So if you scroll up now, of course, now Anthony is doing this, right? Yes, it's true. I dropped out of the 21 convention because Stefan Molyneux was speaking. But after talking with Coach Greg Adams, having a brief conversation with Alpha Male Strategies, Steve the Dean Williams, they all said, listen, man, you got to look past that. We're doing this for the greater good. So I shot Anthony a text. I said, hey, listen, man, I've got the screenshots. I said, after further consideration, I would like to come back in. Now, here's the thing. When I told Anthony I was dropping out, he told me that the door was always open. And so I figured, okay, well, if the door is always open, then all right, then I guess I can mull over my decision. Well, it made sense to me when I had conversations with other African-American, content creators, whatever the case may be. I didn't beg Anthony. I simply requested to get back in. And he told me, he told me no. So for him to characterize that as begging, come on, man. Like, yes, I pulled out. Yes, I asked you to come back in. You said no. That was it. That's it.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, let me ask this then. We kind of went sort of a direction though, but I didn't expect all of this. But
there I am.
But let's talk about what does it take, and I guess I would leave this question to Anthony too. And I don't know if you want. I can drop Anthony the link if this is supposed to be me interviewing you. So it's up to you, man. I don't want to take away from your light here, but I guess the question I would ask is, what does it take, as this is a good microcosm example, what does it take you, Donovan, and you, Anthony, to resolve your issues so that, and again, maybe you don't agree on everything, maybe you have some different philosophies and things, but what does it take for us to say, okay, let's put this aside and let's be gentlemen here. What does it take?
Yeah, listen, man, don't get into bed with guys like MGTOW Dictionary. Again, everybody's going to have disagreements with certain people. There are going to be certain philosophical differences that people have. There are going to be certain fundamental differences that people have. I have no problem with that. I'm going to actually start doing a show with David West. We fundamentally disagree on quite literally everything, but that doesn't mean that the two of us can't have an honest discourse, right?
Right.
And I'm not trying to tell him, listen, no one's going to tell either me or him what he can or cannot do. But if he continues to rub elbows with a man who has made it clear that he is just trying to assassinate people's character and tear down their brands, then I can't work with you. If you don't work with guys like that, then yeah, that's what it would take. But again, and I understand what you mean. This further propagates this. You're absolutely right. MGTOW Dictionary, that's a different realm, dude. That's different.
And I agree with that. And I actually reached out to MGTOW Dictionary because initially he had put me in his little app, right? Which I thought, he emailed me some nice emails, complimented me on the channel and stuff like that. And then I don't know where, I guess because I associated with Jonathan, then he decided that I'm
Modern Life
to be. Yeah. So even after that, I reached out, I sent a video to MGTOW Dictionary and I said, hey, look, man, I get it. You seem like a fairly decent guy. Let's just resolve it. Where things are going with everything is not going to be good. I see violence on the horizon and it's just not good. If you really want to help men, I fine. You have a different philosophy. You think dating coaches that's fine. Let's talk about these things. And I think he put the video in his stream so he hasn't, I've been willing to bring him to, like, because I feel like the place where we need to get to, and maybe this is, maybe this is the place to discuss this, is we need like almost like a neutral kind of channel where where we just jump on and start discussing these ideas, as opposed to, I mean, like, in that, and that's why kind of I was saying with this whole thing is like, okay, what does it take for you and Anthony to resolve issues here?
Well, listen, Anthony's still in the chat. Ask him the same thing.
Yeah, I'm asking. I'm open. And I could even bring him on, like I said, if you want me to. But
it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter to me what you do. I've told him what it takes. I would like to hear what he thinks, because my guess is that he's not going to work with me again for whatever reason. I think that it's just it's not in him to, I guess, work with people that he is disassociated with. That's fine with me. But again, I mean, listen, I'm trying to be amicable and the bigger man. Yeah. So I have no problem with Anthony. I have no problem with him whatsoever. I don't like the fact that he has spent a year and a half smearing Rollo's name, and I don't like the fact that he is. Here you go. And I don't like the fact that he associated with MGTOW Dictionary for the purposes of, well, I don't know what Anthony's purposes were for getting with MGTOW Dictionary, but he knew who MGTOW Dictionary was and what he did. So if he doesn't work with guys like that, I'm cool with working with him again. And it's not like, hey, if you co-brand with this guy, then I can't. No, MGTOW Dictionary, like, there's no reasoning with that guy. He just wants to see the Manosphere burn. That's it.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. I think that's a pretty accurate assessment.
Here's Anthony. Donovan will never attack or even criticize Rollo because he is a shill playing a fake middleman. You know what's interesting? I've actually had shouting matches with Rollo behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just because I'm not going to call somebody out publicly doesn't mean I'm a fake shill. But see, again, Anthony, this is just what he does. He clearly is not interested. You asked the question. He still hasn't answered it yet. You asked me, hey, what would it for you to work with? Hold on. What would it take for you to work with Anthony Johnson? And I said, listen, disassociate yourself with MGTOW Dictionary and we're cool. He's what is he doing in the chat? He's still smearing, calling me names. So if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. I think that says a lot. I'll just put it that way.
Okay, no, fair enough. I think that's a fair, again, and I'm not trying to take sides here, but I did send him a link if he wants to jump on here, because you're right. And I am intending to pose him the same question. And the reason why I'm using this as an example is because I feel like Donovan, you are very amiable, and so like if we can't resolve these smaller ones, then the bigger ones are really going to be difficult to resolve.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
Okay.
Dude, now he's putting in the chat why Candace Owens. I didn't know Candace Owens had anything to do with the 21 convention. See, this is just what Anthony does. He's not about, I mean, at least in this context, he's not interested. All he wants to do is throw shade, fake news. And dude, Candace Owens never came out of my mouth until just now. So let's pose the question again. Anthony, what would it take for you to work with me again? If the answer is nothing, then I think that says a lot. Okay. Listen, I'm on here trying to say, listen, man, I'm willing to work with you if X, Y, Z. What is he doing? Just calling me names, fake shill, this and that and the other. Rollo Tomasi and I have been in some very heated discussions because this is what men do. I'm not going to put my personal disagreements with people out for the world to see. I've done it before, not going to do it anymore. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. As far as like, and he said, why did he attack me unprovoked? Anthony, I didn't attack you. I called you out for smearing Rollo Tomasi for a year and a half. That's not attacking you. If you see that as an attack, then that's a you problem, my friend. What I was simply saying was that it is damaging your brand going after Rollo Tomasi. That's what I said. I'm not attacking you. I'm just calling it like it is.
And I think this is something to address. I think maybe because we talked about the idea of like of attacking ideas and discussing ideas, which I think is really important. But I think it's also important to discuss what someone has done, right? So for example, right, I've made it known that I don't like Anthony attacking Rollo, right? That doesn't mean that I don't like Anthony. It just means I don't like the same thing. I mean, Anthony
either. I'm just not going to co-brand with him as long as he continues to attack Rollo and get in bed with MGTOW Dictionary. He doesn't seem to have an answer for that. And I've never, and again, now he's flat out lying. I've never said anything about Candace Owens to anybody except for Hotep Jesus. What he is saying about Candace Owens is a flat out lie, not even close to true. No context, no nothing. Flat out lie. This is what's happening. Now, you can choose to believe that or not, but Candace Owens, I haven't discussed Candace Owens since Hotep Jesus was in studio at Studio B. I don't know where Anthony is getting this from. Again, he's trying to muddy the waters and sling mud. I'm not about that life. I used to be. I'm not anymore. And so I'm not going to co-brand with, here we go. Stop lying and we'll talk, Donovan. See, Anthony, come on. If you are interested in discussing this, then come on. Bring him in.
I just emailed you a link, Anthony, if you'd like to jump on.
I don't know what this guy is talking about. This is
and again, my intent here is not to start more drama. Unfortunately, it's just to say, okay, well, how do we go forward as men? How do we fix these issues? Because we have to, we can't be uniform in the sense that we all agree on everything, right? Yeah. Like you said, men will have disagreements, but we have to find ways, if we want to really advance and help men, to be able to resolve these things without it coming down to personal attacks. Even if I disagree with something you said or an action you did, I
haven't personally attacked Anthony at all.
No, I don't.
Anthony names. I've never called him anything. I just said, listen, dude, you're starting to damage your brand. Like, you going after, like, it's been a year and a half, 2 years, enough already. Never insulted him. I've been nothing but professional towards Anthony, yet here he is slinging mud, lies, and he's a fake shill. You do the math. I guess we'll see when he comes on.
Okay. Yeah. And again, like I said, I'm not trying to create more drama here.
Again, I want to make it clear. I don't dislike Anthony. It's interesting. I admire the way he's gone about things, because he's a master marketer, and he's very, very good at getting eyeballs. And the only way this community is going to grow is if we get eyeballs. Anthony's been on the news before. I've never been on the news. I've never been on the news before, right? So Anthony has done things that I probably at this point will never do. That doesn't mean that I don't like the guy. I'm just not going to co-brand with him anymore. That's just that's just it.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair statement. There's definitely, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a choice that you make. What I'm saying is, so, in the bigger sense of things, how do we, fix these issues? Like, what is the proper way that we, because we have all these factions, right? At first it was like factions and philosophies, which was, it's still like, well, here's the thing, to the outside world, right? I talk to girls and they're like, oh, to them, there's no difference between MGTOW and red pill and black pill and incel. They're all the same things. They're all just misogynists, right? So to the rest of the world, it's kind of silly. Like, no one cares about our issues. They just think that these guys are misogynist idiots. And whoever is the worst of us, that's the entire it gets applied to all of us, right? Yeah. So women think, okay, oh yeah, all these guys are incels because they take the incel, like, whatever the worst of it is, that's what gets applied to all of us. So in order for us to, like, really advance and reach more men, we have to figure out some forum, way that we discuss these things.
I agree with you 100%. I'm going to attempt to do that with the Conference of Masculine Excellence. I hope I can pull this off. It's going to take a few years to get it to where it needs to be. Yeah. But I don't want to say I've come around. And again, Anthony's still nowhere to be seen. He's still satisfied just running his mouth in the chat. So just keep, just make what you will of that. But I used to be hard on the MGTOW guys as well. But I had to do a lot of self reflection and say, okay, Donovan, you've been out of the game for a while. Like, dude, I exited the game back in 2016, 2017. That might not seem like a long time ago, but a lot has changed in the last 4 or 5 years, John. It is really, really, really hard for men to be successful in today's dating environment. And the more of these stories come out, the more I think to myself, you know what? It's not a mindset that I subscribe to, but I'm starting to get, like, I'm beginning to understand why these guys are just checking out of the dating market. I sort of had to look inside myself and say, okay, you've been hard on these guys for a long time. And when I reached out to Coach Greg Adams, I found out that he was a, quote, MGTOW. I was like, wait a minute, that guy's a MGTOW? That guy's a fucking superstar.
Yeah.
Discourse with him. And all of a sudden, it became clear to me, okay, even though I don't subscribe to this line of thinking, I understand why these guys are where they are and the decisions they've made. And so my olive branch to those guys is this: listen, when and if you ever do decide to pursue women again, if you don't decide to pursue women again, you're getting no hate from me. I totally
Right.
get it. I totally understand it. But hey, man, if you decide you want to give it another try, I'm here for you. I can teach you the ins and outs. I can teach you how to mitigate certain risks. I can teach you how to minimize your risks and all that good stuff. If you decide not to, I'm not going to hate on you because I have a newfound respect for those guys.
Yeah, no, and I would say that I'm of a pretty similar opinion. Maybe not exactly the same, but if guys decide that they don't want to pursue women, that's fine. That's not. I'm never going to make fun of a guy for that. But what I would say is that the philosophy that a lot of the MGTOW kind of community, again, I just had a video that came out today, talking about MGTOW, and what I was saying in there was that, look, it's like, the problem I have, I'm MGTOW. I mean, I like, every man should go his own way, right? Going your own way is being a man. If you're not going your own way, you're not being a man. But when you're following a community of people that have the same thinking and that are constantly hating on women and hating on cucks and simps and like using all this, you're not really going your own way. You're not really. And that's the thing that I'm against. Like, if you're actually going your way and you're like, hey, I don't want to deal with women, that's fine. I would never. That's a total fine choice. And I think it's good that you brought up Coach Greg, because he's a great example, because he's a true MGTOW. Like, he's not hating on, like, he's doing his thing, he's making money, he's it's not I don't know, again, I'm not going to agree with everything that Coach Greg says. That's fine, but he's at least like doing something and promoting the idea of like improving yourself and becoming better, as opposed to just being angry.
No, I agree. I like how he's branded it as the free agent lifestyle, right? And I've actually decided to do something similar. I'm going to try to roll this out at the Conference of Masculine Excellence, and it's something I've mentioned before, but it's the 5% lifestyle. And and the 5% lifestyle encompasses many things, but there's something that I used to call, I'm going to have to start calling again, is 5%ers. Here's the thing, John. Most men are not aware of red pill truth. Most men are not red pill aware. I don't know what the percentages are. The percentages are growing, but not enough, not to the point where it's completely dead. So let's just take everyone who is red pill aware. Okay. We'll just call that. I think that 1 out of every 20 men who is red pill aware actually lives the red pill life. Right. So listen, there are hundreds of thousands, probably even millions of men who are aware of red pill truth, but only 1 in 20 of us actually are actively living the red pill life. That is exactly 5%. Ergo, 5%er. No word still from Anthony Johnson. I guess he has figured. I guess he finally understands that. I don't think he wants to come on and talk. I really wish he would have, because I think that we could iron out a lot of things. But the fact that he is not willing to come on and talk about this like a man, he's just satisfied with just putting putting all kinds of comments and insults in the chat. Anthony, I'm never going to say a bad thing about you, man. I'm just not going to do it. You're going to try to draw me into some sort of mudslinging. I'm not doing it, man. Like, listen, man, like, I'm not trying to say this is the new Donovan, like I'm just this enlightened person, but dude, slinging mud has not served me or anybody else. Anthony, I wish you the best of luck, but I would love to work with you again, Anthony. But as long as you continue to act the way you are in the chat and get in bed with guys like MGTOW Dictionary, then I got to wash my hands of you. Love you to death. I think you're a solid guy. You've built a wonderful event. I will, unless obviously you're not going to miss me. You don't really need me. But yeah, that's it. I would love to work with Anthony again, but if he wants to just Candace Owens, like, what? I don't even know where that came from. So whatever.
So let me pose you this question then, just since we went on that topic. So if Anthony today jumps on the stream and he's like, hey, Donovan, whatever the past was between us, I don't even want to discuss it. Let's just move forward and let's just, let's work together. Let's put it away. You would be like, all right, let's bury the hatchet.
Yeah, man. I mean, okay. Yeah, definitely. As long as he doesn't get in bed with MGTOW Dictionary again. You know what?
That would be a different thing. That would be a new thing to do.
Okay, listen, if he says, listen, dude, listen, man. And he doesn't have to apologize. Listen, dude, I'm not going to do the MGTOW Dictionary thing.
Yeah, that's silly to make people
apologize for that. But I can't co-brand with someone who has attacked me and my woman personally. That's just not going to happen. That's not something I can do. It's something I could do. It's not something I'm going to. So that's that.
Yeah, the level at which, MGTOW dictionary has, attacked people is
Incredible.
for, yeah, and not for a good not at least like, Anthony, Rollo attack, like, again, and I don't agree with Rollo attacking people, and I've told
Yes,
Rollo that as well, but at least they're trying doing something that they believe they're advancing the
we are
cause.
better.
I
Listen,
yeah,
John, in the end, we're better together than apart.
exactly.
Can you
This is true.
imagine, honestly, can you imagine? Can you imagine just for 1 second if myself, Richard Cooper, Anthony Johnson, Rollo Tomasi, if we could just somehow bury the hatchet and be like,
Mhm.
hey guys, look, man, let's move past all this stuff. We really could accomplish great things because all of us have vast networks of people that we work with,
Exactly.
guys who are influencers and that people listen to. But we can accomplish things separately, but dude, it pales in comparison to what we could do together. It's just it blows my mind, the potential. Like, we could blow the doors off this thing if all of us could unite and join forces without all of this infighting and getting into bed with people who are literally trying to tear us down and character assassinate us. We would be mainstream inside of 2 years. Inside of 2 years, we're going to have news cameras at our house. We're going to have exposés done on us on CBS and ABC. That's what's holding us back, man, is this lack of togetherness, man. And it's killing us. I don't think Manosphere existed in 2 years, man, if it keeps going this way.
And this is what you said is exactly what I'm aiming for. This is what I would love to see. I would love to see everyone bearing the hatchet, right? And and I don't know. I guess, what does it take? Does it take for us to say to you guys to call out, like stop calling people out? I mean, is that like, but to do it in the right way, to say, look, I like you, but stop, because I thought it was good when I saw your video clip. That's what I was like, okay.
I did not insult Anthony. I said, Anthony, you're a smart guy. I like you a lot. But it's time to stop going after Rollo Tomasi. It's kind of starting to make you look like a joke. That wasn't an insult. That was just being real. Listen, Anthony is a lot of things. Stupid isn't one of them. Has he said things in the past that I probably wouldn't do? Absolutely. He and I are two very different people. We appear to have the same goals, I would imagine, but I thought we were on the same side. And so if he gives me a call and says, look, dude, I'm not fucking with MGTOW dictionary anymore. Me and Rollo will never work together, but listen, man, we could do great things. Now, of course, I would have to try to, get Rollo and Anthony to talk again. And I don't know that that's ever going to happen. I think what Anthony has done to Rollo is akin to what MGTOW dictionary has done to everybody. Anthony went a bridge too far with Rollo, man. He did. MGTOW dictionary is going to bridge too far with everybody. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's inconceivable, but that they could work together again. I think it would be unbelievable. If I'm a betting man, I'm betting against it. But I would love to be able to. I'd love to be able to do that. So
yeah. And well, I mean, I'm on board for helping to facilitate that. If you are Donovan, maybe we can get enough guys together that are, I think there's a lot of guys. Again, I'll speak for some of them, and they can disagree if not. But I think guys like Troy, I think guys like Mr. Lucario, I think guys like that, and I'm pointing out guys that I feel like have never thrown any kind of shit or barely have done that would get on board with what we're saying and say and kind of create a little bit more pressure for these guys to say, look, let's put aside the feuds. Let's put aside the hatchet. Let's bury the hatchet. Let's start working together more. Let's forget about the past. Let's forget about who did what to who, because if we go down that road, it'll always be an argument. You're never going to resolve that. Instead, let's just put it away and say, okay, we have a greater cause. We're trying to help men. We're trying to, actually make a difference here. Let's step forward and do this. And let's have a little bit of a ground rules of okay, we're all coming together in the pact and we're saying, all right, we're not going to mudsling each other, right? If someone does something that you don't like, say that they did it, but say it in a nice way. Don't be like an asshole and character assassinate them,
Right. Listen, we all make mistakes, man. I had falling out with O'Shea Duke Jackson. He literally went on the air and lied about me. Then I did a response video that exposed his lies. He said that shit went down. Interestingly enough, now this is funny. O'Shea accused me of working with Anthony Johnson to create a Black 21 convention. That never happened.
Right.
Anthony actually shot me a text and said, "Hey, what do you think of a Black 21 convention?" I said, "I think that'd be a great idea, but you might want to wait on that." I don't remember how the conversation was. Actually right at the end of 2018, so this was a while back, but I thought it was a great idea. So I shot O'Shea a text and said, "Hey man, Anthony Johnson's thinking about doing a Black 21 convention." He didn't like that at all. I'm like, "Dude, what's the problem? He's doing a 21 convention in Poland where you live. I'm sure he'd have no problem allowing you to tag along and get some tips on how to put something like this together." He wouldn't hear of it. And so we didn't talk for a while. Then I complimented O'Shea on the air. 6 months later, then he does an attack video on me. Literally does an attack video. So what that told me is that there was always this seething contempt that he had for me. He was just looking for a reason to attack me. It didn't. If his name came out of my mouth for better or worse, he was going to attack me, and attack me he did. And dude, for almost two and a half years, every once in a while I take my pot shots. But then I saw the way Anthony continued to treat Rollo. Then I saw him get in bed with MGTOW Dictionary. Then Modern Life Dating, John did this hit piece on Joker, and I'm like, okay. And I like John.
Yeah.
I like John.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree.
I said, dude, I gave him a call. I said, "John, dude, come on, man. Same fucking team, man." Like, that's what this comes down to. We can have disagreements. We can have disagreements behind the scenes, but when we start tearing down each other in public, you know who's laughing at us are the feminists. They're laughing at us. They're like, "Well, hell, we don't have to fuck with these guys anymore. These guys are taking these guys down themselves." Here's another thing, John, and I'm gonna run this by you. I'd really like to get your opinion.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'd like to get your opinion on this. The YouTube algorithms are in favor of channels that attack channels like ours. Listen, we already know that the algorithms are not in our favor. We know we get shadow banned. We know that we're under the watchful eye. We know we don't get a fair shake in terms of content creation. We know that. What men have figured out, rightfully so, is that, wait a minute, I can go from 0 to 50,000 subscribers if I just go after the biggest red pill manosphere guys. And guess what? They're being rewarded for it. Guys who are doing hit pieces and exposing people and doxing only guys like us. Anytime they do it to anybody else,
it's harassment.
Down.
Yeah, exactly.
But when they come after true masculinity, YouTube's like, "All right, cool. Yeah, let's push this up in the algorithm." It has now become a business. Whether or not the guys who disagree with us doesn't really matter. Maybe these guys really are red pill, where they agree with what we're talking about. But they figure, you know what? It's more profitable to talk shit about red pill guys than red pill truth. That's what's happening. That's why all of these different go after people channels are blowing up, because to attack traditional masculinity is favored by that YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. That's exactly how, and I know because I was the recipient of that until YouTube figured out that my channel was just as toxic, right? Because I did a bunch of videos on MGTOW, and when you search MGTOW on YouTube for a good couple of years, 7 of my videos came up as the top 7 search results. And I was like, wow, this is crazy, because I was being critical of MGTOW, and YouTube didn't realize that I was not a feminist until now. They figured it out. Now, if you search MGTOW, my stuff doesn't come up. Now I'm in the shadow ban area. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So we can't play into their hands. We have to, be smarter, be bigger than that, and have these open. But again, like, and I guess the thing that here's the thing that just drives me nuts, right? So the biggest problem with society today, like the mainstream society, is groupthink, is wrong think, right? So if you say something against the pandemic that's going on, if you say something against wearing masks, if you can
call it 91 Devok.
Right. Okay, so if you say anything against those things, right, you get shunned by society, you get canceled, right? You can't have open discourse and discussion. Right. So we as men, right, we don't like that, right? We're like, oh, that's like 1984 Brave New World type of shit. But then we're doing the same thing in our own microcosm. We're like, if you say this, then you're, and but so yeah, so we have to just be able to say, okay, look, yeah, okay, fine. I don't like MGTOW philosophy. So okay, come and talk to me about it, and I'll have a discussion with the MGTOW guy, and let's have a civil. Let's talk about why, why, not what you did or what kind of person you are, or pictures of your wife or your kids or like all this kind of bullshit. Instead, it's like, okay, what is your thought? What is your philosophy? Like, without name calling, and then why do I disagree with this thing? What, present the evidence. Like, if we're gonna have a debate, have a real debate, because then we make progress,
Right.
and then we're open to these ideas instead of saying, oh well, if this person thinks this, if they're this pill, then I'm not. Then then they're an asshole or whatever, and that's what we're like echoing to the same thing that's happening in modern society that is so horrible, right? It's like cancel culture. Like, we're canceling people within our own freaking community.
This is why feminists don't have to come after us anymore, right? Like, it used to be, they used to love doing this stuff. But here's the thing, John, I agree with you totally. If we could all just sit down, it would take a 1-hour conversation. Hey, look, my bad. Shouldn't have called you this, shouldn't have did that, shouldn't have posted that. We could get past it. Here's the problem, John. Not all of these men are interested in doing that. Anthony Johnson among them. He does not seem interested in burying any hatchet. He's still not on the call. He's not on the video, but he's satisfied with putting things in the comments. Okay, well, that makes it clear to me that he's not interested in burying any sort of hatchets. MGTOW Dictionary, not interested in burying the hatchet. He just wants to see the world burn. And I'm sure he has his reasons, but this is why we can't associate with guys like that.
No, we don't have a huge number of people on the stream right now. There's about 185 people, but guys in the chat right now, if you would like to see all of this be resolved, and for whether you agree with someone or not, have us all working together and stop this drama, put a 1 in the chat. Let's put a 1 in the chat. Let's just see what the support is, because I feel like this is where it's going to come from, is that because what you're saying is like, oh, a lot of creators don't care. They don't want to get on board with this. Well, if there's enough pressure, if the audience, if they're monetary, the way they're making money, if we have enough of these streams and we have enough people that we get on board, look at all the ones coming in the chat. Like, okay, guys that are, but if we have enough content creators that are creating valuable content, getting on board with this and saying, hey, look, this is what we want to do, maybe we can create enough pressure where guys that don't want to play ball will play ball.
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think what it also does is it tells us who is interested in really coming together as one unit and who is just satisfied with just throwing insults and doxing people. Because if you're a man and you're not, like, as a man, that should pull at your masculine hard drive, right? As a man, oh, you know what? Okay, listen, man, we'll get past it. And to be honest with you, okay, so people have done and said things that have pissed me off. I can look past that, man. That stuff was a long time ago. I mean, I'm actually kicking around at the idea of maybe doing a live stream with O'Shea and burying the hatchet on the air, just so that people can see, hey, you want to know something? Guys can bury the hatchet. But what's going to happen is people are going to say a lot more about this, I guess, this call to action. Things are going to be what people don't say is going to be more impactful than what people say. If whoever we don't get a response from this call to arms, I suppose, then those are the people who have effectively told us, okay, well, we know why you are in the business at this point. We know why. If all you're going to do is just is attack and smear, cool. Listen, I got nothing against you, but it's clear where you're coming from. I'm here to help men, and we're not helping men by attacking other men. It doesn't work that way. And the Manosphere has literally stagnated because of all of this infighting. And my little rant was just a random thing. It just came to my head. I didn't plan on anything. And I think the closest thing to an insult I called Anthony Johnson is I said that he thinks he's Donald fucking Trump. That's what I said about him. If he wants to take that as an insult, that's fine, but that's true, right? He thinks he's Donald Trump. I happen to like Donald Trump. Listen, I voted for Trump, you know what I'm saying? Or I bought somebody's vote because, of course, I'm a convicted felon and all that good stuff. But the fact that I said that he thinks he's Donald Trump, listen, man, if he wants to take that as an insult, that's fine. He's taken the Donald Trump route and it's gotten him to where he is now, but Donald Trump is no longer in the White House.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, let me address this real quick here. So Unique, I mean, no special treatment. If he's gonna do personal attacks, then yes, you're gonna. I suppose time him out. Like that's
I will
that's what
never
we.
say a bad word about Anthony Johnson.
And
I've No,
yeah,
listen, I've learned a lot from him. He actually
yeah,
inspired me to do my own conference. Like I kind of peeped things out. I saw how smoothly everything was run, and it became clear to me that it wasn't easy. Anthony makes it look easy because he's done this now for Jesus Christ.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
and I'll say when I went to 21 convention, this is my first time speaking there. He treated me like royalty. He made sure everything was taken care of. It
yeah,
was very professionally run event. I was very impressed. Everyone there, treated me very well. And and so again, so I'm just saying this so that I want to make it very clear that I don't have anything against anyone here, except for with the exception of potentially MGTOW
yeah,
dictionary.
right.
But with that, even with that, if he honestly came to me and said, you know what, I just want to like just fix all this shit, I would still even have him on the channel and have a discussion and talk with him. I might not want to be friends with him, but I would still, as a man, say, yeah, let's hear your piece. Yeah,
Let's disparage. Okay, right.
yeah,
Just like with O'Shea, I said, listen, man, we're not going to be on each other's Christmas card lists, but the least I can do is reach out to him and say, hey, look, let's bury the hatchet on the air. People have waited years for this. Let's just listen, let the past be the past. And the deal is this. I'm a much different person. I mean, I'm 43 years old. I am a much different person than I was even when I was 40. Like
right,
I've grown up a lot. And listen, man, I was essentially raised by a single mother. That along with some other things explains why I can be emotionally immature at times. I'm self-aware enough to admit that me being raised by the mother that I had is not really so good for the temper problem. Quick to emotion, but you have to work on this stuff, right? You almost have to free your mind in order to strengthen it. And so I did some things in the background, saw a therapist, and got this anger problem under control. Now I can almost self-censor live on the air, but the point is that you have to evolve. And any man who's not willing to evolve and just say, hey, look, all right, the past is the past. It is what it is. I'm not going to dislike that person, but I cannot co-brand with you. I'm just not going to do that.
Fair enough. And so I would say then, based on what you just said, and I think that your call to action here is, guys in the chat, if you can help us out, send this video, send the links to this or the part, I mean, probably the whole thing even, to the content creators, guys like Rollo and I guess Anthony's already watched this, but the ones that you want to be on board with this so that they understand what we're calling for.
Everyone,
which is,
think about this, man. Richard Cooper has an enormous following. Rollo is the godfather. Anthony Johnson has the 21 convention, man. And I'm getting ready to have this conference. It's going to take me a while to get on Anthony and Richard and Rollo's level. But it's not really about getting on anybody's level. I just want to bring men together and teach men how to be men, man. And we can't do that if we're slinging mud at each other. Dude, John, like, I can't even imagine how big. I can't imagine how many men we could help if we all would just, and I know it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done because now the way Rollo feels about Anthony is probably the same way I feel about MGTOW Dictionary. Even sitting here right now, if MGTOW Dictionary, the real him, would reach out, be like, hey, Donovan, listen, man, I fucked up. Didn't mean you to listen, man. I was angry. You didn't said some shit. Let's have a discourse. I would listen. I'm not going to say, oh, no, because we are men. Yeah. And just by virtue of our Y chromosome, we are on the same side, whether we like it or not. We're on the same side, whether we like it or not. Because I don't know if you know this, John, the world doesn't give a fuck about us.
Exactly.
The only people that gives a shit about men is other men. And so when you have the only people who give a shit about other men attacking other men, it's madness. If we could just come together, we could build something. We could build something unlike the world has ever seen. And I know that sounds hyperbolic, but I believe that to be true. I don't I'm not confident that it's going to happen, but listen, man, a guy can hope, right?
Well, this is how we do it. I think just, hopefully this conversation, this is kind of why I wanted to have this conversation with you too, is that, to put it out there. And again, again, my chat is not as big as some guys' streams, but like, we saw all the ones in the chat. There's a ton of ones, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, guys, that you're in this audience, you're listening, you want to get benefit from us, not hear people fight and yell like women, then help spread the message, make it known to your favorite content creators that you don't want this anymore, that you don't want them to be talking crap and having feuds with people, and that you want to see superheroes coming together and teaming up, and you want to see these things.
Avengers, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that we all agree. Like I was saying, like we can totally get on streams and say, let's discuss this thing. Let's argue about this thing. And that's great, because it moves because then everyone gets to hear, and they get to hear both sides.
Yes.
They get to see
their own dimension in terms of their mindset. Maybe someone on the other side makes them see things in a way that they'd never seen before. But in the end, after the dust settles and the stream is over, we're on the same side. I don't know how many fights. Have you ever been in a physical fist fight, John?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've been in plenty of fights. I've kicked a lot more asses than I've gotten my asses kicked, but it's interesting. A lot of times I end up going and having a beer with a guy, dude.
Yes.
This guy, I had a bloody nose and a fat upper lip.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy's eye was closed. I hit him so hard. Dude, 3-4 hours later, we're at a fucking bar, and I'm like, yo, sorry I tagged you with that left on the don't worry about it. He's icing it down with his beer. It was just, and I'm not suggesting that anybody get into a fist fight, but conversations are like fist fights, in that it solves men can have a disagreement. They get in a fist fight. Whoever wins or loses, there's almost an understood agreement that, okay, it's over with. And that's why we can then sit down and have a beer. A conversation could be the same thing. We could get loud on a conversation, but at the end of that conversation, you always feel, as far as I'm concerned, you always feel a lot better. Okay, you know what? He made some good points, and yeah, it was fucked up what I said or did, so I can understand why he was upset about that, or why he was pissed about that, and I let my voice be heard. You guys don't have to be friends, but at least you walk away feeling like you're still on the same side. Somebody in the chat says, why does Richard Cooper hate Donovan Sharpe? Nah, man, it's Richard Cooper doesn't hate me. Richard Cooper, my personality just doesn't jive with his. That doesn't make me any better or worse than him. That's just how it is, man. Like, dude, not everybody is going to get along with everybody. That's just how it is. Richard Cooper doesn't hate me. He just doesn't like me very much. I don't really like him that much at all, but I respect the hell out of the guy. The guy knows exactly what he's talking about. I love the cars. I love his brands. I love his brand, Entrepreneurs in Cars. He's a solid dude, man. And he puts out good content. Just because I don't like the guy doesn't mean I can't acknowledge that. Doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge that he actually brings something positive to the table as far as this community is concerned.
Good. And that's what we need more of, to be honest. That's what we need more of, is more like that, because that's the thing that's really gonna change things and make things better. And yeah, so anyway, I hope that maybe we can just have more of these kind of talks and get more guys on board. I think that's really the thing, is to call upon our audiences and say, hey, look, put the pressure on some of these guys and say, hey, join John and Donovan, and maybe we form something to, again, I hate to like create a faction, but maybe we form some kind of community that's a joint community where we're creators that say, hey, look, this is what we want to do. We want to not infight. We want to, and we're not going to exclude anyone from it. It doesn't even matter what your sins are. Like, you can join at any time. You just have to be willing to just accept that you're not going to cause drama and attack people.
And as a man, and again, I'm calling myself out here. When O'Shea did that attack campaign against me, I was feeling some type of way. I really did. And I let it burn for too long. I wasn't emotionally mature enough to just let the shit go. But a funny thing happens when you get older. You get more mature. And I had to look in the mirror and say, you know what, dude, like, it's enough is enough. And I actually had to ask, like, do you really hate O'Shea anymore? No, I didn't.
Right.
It's not. So I had to get over the fact that I was thinking that it was a weakness to bury the hatchet. No, it's not. Listen, man, it takes more of a man to admit that you are wrong in what you've done or said than to continue to double down. I'm not going to double down anymore. That's it. Listen, man, O'Shea did what he did. My response to him, My response to him, I didn't insult him at all. I just presented the fact. The way I acted after that, some of the things that I said, I shouldn't have said them. I shouldn't have said them. It showed that I was emotionally immature, and it showed that I just wasn't really man enough yet, right? But being a man is being able to reach out to someone you know you don't like, who doesn't like you, but you happen to have the same mission. John, in corporate America, there are executives who fucking hate each other.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Work together. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick fucking hate each other. But guess what? They were able to put that stuff to the side, compartmentalize their personal feelings from their business relationship, and they made history. They won 6 Super Bowls together. 2 guys that don't like each other, they did something that will never be duplicated again. And it's not that Belichick and Brady are somehow special. They're men. This is an ability that men have. We can work with people we don't necessarily see eye to eye on. We can work with people. We can have conversations with people we don't necessarily like and still make progress. We can do that, man.
And this is, and the big thing about that is this is the example that we should be setting for the guys, because we have a lot of guys, young guys that are confused, that are coming to us, that are looking, and they're seeing the example, and they don't know. I mean, most of the content creators, even the ones that are slinging mud, they're successful men in their lives, right? Like, so even though they're slinging mud, that's something different. They're still understand the basic tenets, right?
Like MGTOW Dictionary is not a successful man. He's not. He's 50 something years old and he lives with his mother. That's not successful. And I don't say that to insult him. I say that because I understand now why he's so angry. If I were 50 something years old and living with my mother, I'd be pretty pissed off too. Right. And then when he sees guys like you and me, of course he's going to come after us because, and this is the thing, and a lot of guys are going to think I'm crazy. Sidney P. Raghunath or whatever that guy's name is, he has what it takes to turn it around and be great. He does, because he is a man. He can turn it around. He is choosing not to do this. If you're a man and you're not reaching your full potential, or at least towards it in this country, that is a choice that you have made. No, it's not going to be easy. John, I've seen your before pictures. You were a fucking show. Dude, I can't even believe you're the same person. I would never have believed that you used to be that guy.
Yeah.
Now you are who you are. And if someone like you can go from that to where you are now, then MGTOW Dictionary could absolutely turn it around and have a successful life.
I agree 100%. I don't think there's any lost causes, right? And the thing about it, like you mentioned, my transformation, so much of it was internal, right? I mean, I used to be a hothead. I used to have no emotional mastery. But where I am today is realizing that the thing that benefits me most in life and benefits the people that follow me is for me to be more mature about things and to settle things like a man and to set that example and to put aside my emotion, to think strategically instead of emotionally. And that's the big thing, is like when you start thinking emotionally, it's not strategic, right? Even, just the stuff that happened, even, I even said to John Jonathan at one point, I was like, look, just lay off of the MGTOW Dictionary stuff too, because it's just created more, because then it's more drama, and then it's like, it's like, I get your point, like I'm not liking the guy right now, but just like stop this, because you have to like make the smart business decision, because if he blows you up and exposes you and does all this doxing on you, and he's got some vendetta against you, that's going to hurt you financially. It's not going to be good for you. So do the smart thing, like we got to be smart here. Listen, emotional.
Listen, in John's defense, and I disagree with what he did, but in John's defense, I understand it could not be easy to just for us to say, because we're removed from the situation. It wasn't our mom he doxed, right? It wasn't all the people putting up posters, like that was some serious stuff. So I understand why it would be very difficult for him not to just continue to go at this. But at some point, and John's still a young guy. He's still a young, 34, 35 years old. And we don't really, and I'm 43, and I'm just now beginning to experience a little bit of emotional mastery. I'm almost fucking 50. I'm almost a half a century old, and it's taken me long to start to maybe turn the corner. John's not even close yet. Not that that's an excuse, but I understand if I was 34 years old and MGTOW Dictionary did to me what he did to John, I'm not going to say what I would or would not have done. It would be very difficult for me not to do exactly what John did.
Yeah, no, and again, I just to make my stance very clear about these things, as far as doxing people and bringing other people in, that's like, I don't even like the mudslinging of bringing up people's names. Like, let's discuss ideas. But as far as like doxing people, that is like bringing innocent women and children into the mix, and mothers, and that is just, it's beyond, it's levels beyond what I consider even acceptable at
Yeah.
all. So but so I'm against all that for
It's
sure,
interesting.
under any circumstance. So
No, I agree. I agree with you on that. And it's interesting. I've always said that you don't have to trust a woman to love a woman, right? Well, you don't have to trust a man to work with a man. Now you have to keep him at arm's length. Okay. You have to keep him at arm's length, and that takes a little bit of strategic planning. It absolutely does. As much as I admired what Anthony built at the 21 convention, and this isn't to say that I'm not trying to go after the guy. I never really trusted him. You know what I mean? And I didn't think he would ever, I'm not saying that he would ever screw me over, but I watched how Anthony moves long before I was ever invited to the 21 convention. I just knew that he was potentially the kind of guy who would make people's personal information public, right? And John and Anthony is very good at insulating himself. He won't himself put out people's information. He does it. He attacks people by proxy, right? And so, interestingly enough, it's funny because right before I agree, like this was right after I agreed to go to the 21 convention. I was like, Dev, listen, I love what Anthony's doing there. The who's who are going to be there. Richard Cooper, Rollo Tomasi, all these guys. Ed Lattimore's going to be there. I said, but I'm a little bit hesitant because like, and it's not like, I think Anthony's a shady guy. There was something about him that I just didn't fully trust. And so I decided, what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to do like this. And this was weird. I don't know how I came up with this. So Anthony always treated us very well. Always treated us very well when we went to the 21 convention. Everything was taken care of, flight, hotel, all that. The dude kept us fed like I didn't have to spend any money on food or anything. Took care of me there. That of course was after the fact. But I wanted to know, and it was weird how I came up with this. I don't know how I came up with this, but the very first 21 convention I went to, I remember him telling me, hey, I'm going to take care of your flight. I'm going to take care of your hotel and this and that and the other. And so what I was going to do is I was going to allow him to book the plane ticket. He said, listen, send me your information and I'll book your plane ticket. And I'm like, okay, I barely know this guy. Right. So what I did is I sent him my information. I sent my name and my birth date. I sent Devin's name and her birth date just to see what he would do. If he had booked the plane ticket, I'd have been like, okay, maybe I was wrong about this guy. As soon as I sent him our information, immediately he said, you know what? Go ahead and book your plane ticket. That didn't raise a huge red flag for me, but this is what I learned is that was sort of a fact finding. That to me was a fact finding, like, okay, I'm going to get personally identifiable information about you and your girlfriend that I can keep in my hip pocket and use later.
Well, okay. I a couple things I want to address. I mean, well, just off rip on that. I think it's still, I mean, that's kind of still alleged, right? I mean, I get what you're saying. But I to me, that doesn't 100%, again, I don't like that Anthony, Anthony, you've got the link. I would love if Anthony could defend himself, because I don't like talking about that, not knowing, right, what is his response to that, because maybe he had a legitimate reason. Maybe there was, again, I'm not knocking what you're saying. I mean, that's your perception of it. The other thing I want to address, well, a couple things, because Anthony has something in the chat. But Anthony, if you just want to jump on, I think this would be good. But Tony said, I'm okay with men disagreeing. We will never agree. And I just wanted to address that to Tony, which is that's what Donovan and I are saying, that men are going to disagree. I mean, I just disagreed with Donovan, right? So we're going to disagree, but
you, John.
But we're not going to get angry and upset. Like we're not saying that we should just all agree on one thing. No. We're saying that we should disagree, but disagree in a forum where we're not cancel culturing each other, right? Basically, where we're not like ostracizing people just because we disagree with them and then turning into mudslinging and name calling. That's what we're saying. So
no, I agree. And
then,
I'm not some sort of a clinical psychologist or anything like that. There was just something about him I just didn't trust, man. I couldn't put my finger on it.
well, no, Anthony made a point. I just would like to see Anthony. You should just jump on here, man. But he said
here's a 5-minute rant on attacking him. I haven't
so.
anything. I have not attacked Anthony.
So he sees that as an attack. I don't know.
Listen,
I mean, do you see it as an attack? I'm sort of on the fence because I'm like, okay, I can see how Anthony could see that. You didn't like. I mean, you did implicate that his character was not the best, right? So I can see that as him.
But I guess I should clarify. Not that I thought that my lack of trust in him was a bad thing. It's just that I can't, and I wish I could explain it. I'm not a head doctor, but the way he moves, the way he interacted with certain people on Twitter, it just, I don't want to say it rubbed me the wrong way, but it gave me pause. You know what I mean? It gave me pause. That's just, listen, this is just how I perceived it. If Anthony wants to perceive this as an attack, that's fine. I can't tell him how he feels. Maybe he wants to think of it as an attack, so then he has a reason to attack me. I have not defamed Anthony in any way. I have given him nothing but the utmost respect. I've disagreed with the things that he has done and said. I thanked him for giving me the opportunity to speak at the 21 convention. And I have made it clear that, hey, man, if you cut all alliances with a guy with MGTOW dictionary, I'm totally cool with you. He doesn't seem to want to do that. That's fine. If that's not what he wants to do, that's fine. I'm not here to judge him or whatever the case may be. It is what it is, what it is. If Anthony wants to go on some sort of crusading, fine. Do what you got to do. I'm not doing that anymore. At some point, John, we got to act like men. We got to have conversations face to face, voice to voice, not in the chat. Insult in the chat. That's just not. And again, he keeps on. Listen, I know you're friends with the guy. I'm not friends with Anthony. I don't really like him very much, but I respect the guy, and I'd be willing to work with him again. But he's in here calling me a scumbag. I have not said, I haven't called him a scumbag, and I'm not trying to influence you, but maybe now you can kind of see where I'm coming from in this regard. Why I can't work with guys who are like this. Well,
let me be totally clear. I don't agree with Anthony calling you names. A lot of this stuff that he said in chat, I don't agree with him calling you a scumbag. That doesn't mean that I dislike Anthony and that I don't consider him to be a friend. But I will say things that I don't like, and I don't like that, and I don't think that's helpful to this situation. Right.
And I've done this, dude. I've done the same thing with Rollo and John. Like, dude, one time, I probably shouldn't tell that story, but Rollo and I had a very healthy disagreement. And in the end, we both walked away with an increased respect for one another. Just because you don't see someone attacking someone in public doesn't mean that I'm not talking to them like men behind the scenes. Make whatever assumptions you want. He's not going to go after Daddy Tomasi. I don't need to. If I have a problem with something Rollo does or says, guess what? I pick up my phone and I give him a fucking call. We go and we sit down to sushi. We air out our differences. We're still on the same side. I'm going to be meeting up with him in Miami in a couple of weeks. Can't wait.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And in fact, I would take it one step further than just the attacking, because see the thing is, like, just what happened right now with interpretation, because I don't know. I mean, I was thinking maybe we should ask the chat whether they thought your rant on Anthony was an attack or not, but it doesn't matter, because what I would say is that one step further is to say, because it's one thing to not attack people, it's the next level is to say that I don't really care if people attack me. It doesn't matter, right? That's really, I think that's, if we're not at that place, then we're not going to be able to do this, because everyone's going to interpret things as attacks when they don't like what you're saying.
Well,
that's
not only
just
that,
natural behavior.
Well, people interpret things as attacks as a reason to attack. I haven't attacked Anthony. The worst thing I said about him is that he thinks he's Donald fucking Trump. I admire Donald Trump. So being told that he thinks he's Donald Trump, I would imagine maybe he thinks of that as an attack. Okay, fine. Okay, it is what it is. If you want to use that as a reason to disavow, fine. Do what you got to do. Not going to say anything. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going back and forth with the guy. That's it. I'm washing my hands of that whole 21 Studios thing. I'm not messing with those guys. As long as guys like him are associating with guys like MGTOW Dictionary, then and not only that, he still hasn't really given an argument. Scumbag, fake news, Candace. Listen, he has made it clear through his, not his actions, and he's still not coming on the stream. He has made it clear that he is not interested, even though I've been on here showing my face, inviting him on, reached out, gave him an olive branch. He's not interested in taking that olive branch. Does that make him a bad guy? No, that just makes him Anthony Johnson.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I mean, Anthony, I don't know if you have a response to that, but if you do,
I'm sure he will. Anthony's not going to, he's not, some people respond to people. It's very easy to do response videos to people because
you don't have to face them.
There's no back and forth. You can say whatever you want to say unencumbered, right? Anybody can do response videos. Well, I went at him. No, you did a response YouTube video. No, get on a live stream together or get on the phone together and you talk it out. This is what men do. Men don't do response videos. That's some feminine shit. I was involved in feminine shit. I'm not going to sit here and say that I wasn't because I was involved in it. Not doing that anymore. If somebody wants to have an open discourse with me, I am 100% open to having a conversation on or off the air. It appears Anthony is not interested in doing that with me at this time. I'll just leave.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So I guess, we should probably wrap this up here pretty soon. But what are the steps then? What do we need to do going forward? I've been trying to figure this out myself, and my way of doing it has been doing what I've been trying to do, which is just having as many people as possible on my channel, whether or not, I don't care who they've insulted or not. Let's talk and let's hear their what they have to say. What do you think? Like, what can we do? Because it sounds like you're on board. So
I think we got to continue with this message, man. Because like I said, man, we are so much better together than we are apart. Like, dude, you have over 250,000 subscribers. In my lowly 104,000. I'm proud of my 104,000. It took me a while to get there, but we need to continue this message. We have to continue to reach out to one another, man. Yeah, but we're going to have to understand on our side, it's not going to be easy for some of these guys to just bury the hatchet. Guys have said and done some pretty fucked up things. I understand, dude. There is no way you're ever going to get MLD to sit down and have a conversation with MGTOW Dictionary. It's just not going to happen. We can call that being emotionally mature all we want to. This guy went after his mom, dude. This guy said horrible things about him. I'm willing to sit down with him. Okay, so he talks shit about my girl. Everybody talks shit about my girl. It is what it is. I'm not worried about that. But that was a bridge too far. I think Rollo is listen, I'm never going to say what another man should or shouldn't or would or wouldn't do.
Right.
It would be very difficult to get Rollo to bury the hatchet with Anthony Johnson. So I think what we need to do is we need to recognize the relationships that have been damaged far beyond repair and not focus on those. Because that's just not going to happen. You're not, hey, John, you know what? I know MGTOW Dictionary talks shit about your mom and put your posters up and all this other kind of stuff and doxed you. But come on, man, let's bury the hatchet. No, that's not going to happen. Rollo, listen, man, I know Anthony spent 1.5 years smearing you, but not going to happen. Those are too far gone. What we need to do is we need to reach out to as many men as humanly possible and grow this network. That way, the guys on the outside who just want to talk shit and just be shit stirrers, they're going to be on the outside. They're going to be on the outside, and we're going to be in here helping men.
Well, I mean, that to me, that sounds like a couple of things. Then one of them is I would like to see even the most extreme ones resolved, but I understand that that's probably not the case. So maybe one step forward is just to say, let's stop excluding people based on who they associate with, aside from like people that are actively doxing people.
Is the only guy. That's the guy on the no list, man. I mean, I can't think of anybody else who has done. Have there been content creators who've talked shit about me? Of course, but I'm willing to work with those guys again. It is what it is. Yeah, whatever. Right? MGTOW Dictionary is really the only association I think that is radioactive. Everybody else, I'm totally open, man. Totally open.
Fair enough. So I think that makes sense is to say, like, let's just not alienate people just because they associate with someone. And then the second thing that I think makes a lot of sense, based on what you're saying, if some of these things aren't going to be resolved, is to leave the guys that don't want to play ball. We build up enough people that do want to play ball, and we leave them out. if they don't want to be associated with it. We build up enough, right? I mean, I think there's enough content creators that are here that are in the Manosphere that want to resolve things. And if you don't want to be part of the solution, then that's fine. We'll welcome you anytime. But
right.
you know,
the door is always open.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me see. Let's see. Coach EO. Yeah. Thanks, man. He said, salute to AJ, John, and Donovan. Can't have smooth sailing without a few waves. Salute. Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
I agree with that.
So, okay. I mean, let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, no, I think this is good. I mean, I think we just need to have more discussions like this, to be honest, and to just try and get more people on board. And I'm going to reach out to more guys. Actually, I want to address one other thing that someone said here. Born to Lose 13 said, John, oh, wait a minute. No, that wasn't the one. He said, okay. Michael Joseph said, John, why are you having people on your channel that are doxing and roasting Donovan, Rollo, Myron, etc., aka John Anthony? So I had John Anthony.
I have no idea. Listen, I don't know who this John Anthony guy is. I don't know who he is. I thought when somebody said, hey, did you see John Anthony's video? I thought John Anthony was the John Anthony who used to write for Return of King. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever it is, I'm sure I've seen it before. I've just completely ignored it. Turns out this guy is, I guess, maybe a poor man's MGTOW dictionary. I don't know.
He is like a dating like a more of a in the pickup John Anthony lifestyle. He's really talented in what he does. I've told him that I don't like that, his videos and calling out people. He's doing that as a marketing thing. But at the same time, so to address you directly, Michael, your question is that he's talented and he's good at what he does in teaching guys game. And I had him on the channel because of that. I don't care. And it's also to double down on my stance, which is I don't care about the drama. I don't care who you've made videos about. I don't care. I don't like it, but that's not going to stop me from associating with a person or having them on my channel if they have good content. I'm about the message and I'm about the philosophy and the content. I'm not about the drama, because there's no ever ending. You can, no matter what I've heard, believe me, I've heard every side of every drama that's gone on, because the guys have tried to convert me to their side. Right. And when I hear, the Rule Zero guys talking about what happened with the 21 convention, what they said, I'm like, oh, that sounds legit. But when I hear Anthony and 21 convention guys talking about what happened with it, that sounds legit to me. I don't know. Really? How am I supposed to? I'm not going to make judgment calls about that stuff. So I'm not going to try and sort all this shit out. I don't like it just as a rule for people to be insulting and dividing the community. But that's, even when people do that, I'm still not going to exclude them from my channel if they have good content and a good message. So that's where I stand on it. So
Anthony's still in the chat, not in the stream, says, for all of you watching, John is intellectually honest. Donovan is trying to ride his coattails. Let me explain something to you, Mr. Johnson. I start a live stream. I have 1,500 viewers. Not to insult you, John, but we have 231 watching us now. I don't need anybody to succeed. I am a self-made man in every sense of the word. I don't need to ride anybody's coattails. I built my brand on hard work, dedication, and knowledge. Again, just insults, man. And again, I know he's your friend, but John, you're seeing the proof right here. He's not interested in burying any hatchet. He just wants to sling mud.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can acknowledge that seems to be.
Listen.
I believe me, I'm trying to urge as much as I can. I would love to see John jump on Anthony Johnson jump on the channel and talk.
That's not who Anthony is, and we both know that now. So,
so Sean Spirit Beast says John is like fluff for the Manosphere, just wants to discuss ideas. I mean, this is a good thing. Keep being
absolutely.
Thank you.
My rant was just random. Like it just came to me, man. I was like, dude, enough is enough, and it turned into this big thing. It was funny.
Zen Long says, big shout out to John for continuing moral, not gossiping, and not choosing sides. Also to Donovan for being a solid guy. Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So guys, we're gonna wrap this up, but if you haven't already, click the link down below. to subscribe to Donovan's channel. He's got great, like he said, he does a live stream. He gets like 1,500 guys in there. It's awesome. You know, it's like he does an awesome show, super high production quality. I mean, there's no guy really doing, you know, your only competition, I think, is Fit and Fresh as far as production quality.
Listen, those guys, I think this time next year, it might even be sooner than that. I think Myron and Fresh are probably going to pass my subscriber count, because those guys, like, dude, like, I watch their show, man. Like, I watch their show. What Myron has done is, it's nothing short of spectacular, man. So, dude, I'm pulling for that guy. I think that he's gonna run laps around me, because he appeals to a younger audience. I can't really identify with the 18-year-old, the 22-year-old who's having trouble with women, because I've been out of the game for a while. What I can talk about is how to live your life after you found the red pill and you're 35, you're making a little bit more money, you're in good shape. I can help you there. Every once in a while, I'll have a message that can maybe help the 18-year-old, 21-year-old kid, but Myron Gaines he's got that on lock, man.
Yeah. No, it's awesome show. And like I said, guys, definitely check out Donovan's channel. If you haven't already, make sure you just click it now. I just put it in the chat as well. Subscribe.
If you would, John, if you could send me this video tonight, I would actually like to post this on my channel this evening.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do that. I will download it and send it to you.
Cool. Very good. Well, I do you having me on, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on, and thanks for being a good sport. I mean, I know it's like, I didn't mean to bring the drama thing. I just wanted to discuss it, but it was good. I think it was good that this happened the way it did, because I believe there's a really strong message here, and I think if we can get more people to listen to this message and see what we want to create and see the power of that. I mean, what you talked about if we all come together, like how crazy powerful, that's a vision we should all have. So
God, dude, we'd be the Avengers. Like, we would literally be the Avengers. Man, I wish I were more confident in that happening, but who knows? Listen, man, stranger things have happened. A lot of people, listen, I've grown up a lot over the past few years. Maybe some of these guys will do the same. So
yeah, we can hope so. And like I said, all we can do is keep on preaching the same message. Is the more people we get saying the same message that we're saying right now, that's how it happens. So
absolutely.
All right, man. Good to see you. And I'm gonna have to make it out to you sometime here.
I'm actually gonna make it out to you a lot sooner. We're gonna make it out here. Dev and I, we are headed to Phoenix. We're gonna be in Phoenix for a couple of months.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Checking out that area, and I've got a really good friend of mine. Dude, he's 54 years old, bona fide millionaire, has an unbelievable business down there. He and I have talked for years. I'm gonna go down there, hang out with him. He's in San Diego. I'll pop over and have a drink with you, man.
Let's do it. All right. Take care.
All right, man.